Right.
What is up, Grizz Nation? Welcome into another Grizz Game Day update. I am Kelcey. I'm joined by the lovely, wonderful Ashley Nicole Moss. Ash, I want to start today by quickly wishing you a National Girls and Women's in Sport Day, because here we are talking about.
Oh, well, likewise. Listen, we have a place in this field, in this industry, and the women before us, they blaze the path for us. That's our responsibility now to do also for the generation that will follow and hopefully continue the trend. But we're not going anywhere. So for the guys who don't like it, get used to it because we're here and we're here to stay.
Hey. All right. And because it's that day, let's talk about sports. The Grizzlies will take on the Knicks today. I could think of no one better to talk about this Knicks team than you. All right. So the Grizzlies right now, Steven Adams is questionable. Dylan Brooks obviously still out, and then Derrick Rose out for the Knicks. The main thing that I saw, Ashley, when I looked at these two teams' matchups is that the Grizzlies are number 1 in points in the paint. The Knicks dead last at number 30. However, they allow the second least amount of points in the paint. So if Steven Adams is out or if he's in, how does that change the way that this game plays out on the Knicks end?
I think, it's going to be interesting. Steven Adams obviously provides a defensive powerhouse for the Grizz. Is that, that's their pit bull, if you will, or one of them. And one of the issues with the Knicks is that they don't capitalize on, monumental absences of certain players of different teams, right? Last season, this team, the Knicks rather, were a defensive powerhouse. They've kind of gotten away from that identity. We see it in spurts, but we don't see it consistently. Offensively, technically on paper, they've gotten better, although the record won't indicate that. And a lot of the times you don't see that through all 4 quarters of basketball. So I think here's the thing. There's no way to go ahead and contain Ja Morant. You just got to let him do what he does. There's no way to stop him. You can only hope to contain him in some way, shape, or form. The Knicks have to not try to outshoot the Grizzlies. They just have to try to outdefend them. And by doing that, you hope to kind of even the playing field and the things that the Knicks lack and what the Grizzlies are lacking, at least in this particular game.
Okay, it's funny that you say outshoot, because the Grizzlies are coming off of an overtime loss against Philadelphia, which they played well, but it's still a loss. They shot 6 for 30, 20% from the 3-point line. What are the Knicks like? Are they a good shooting team?
So here's the thing. The Knicks are not the best 3-point shooting team. And I think the thing about that is that where they are beneficial, the most beneficial is when they're driving it in the paint, right? Or when they're at least attempting to. I think the Knicks, a lot of the times, they try to complicate the shots or overcomplicate them. I think what you can see in the Sacramento Kings game, although it is the Kings, when the Knicks are just letting the game come to them offensively and they're just taking what the game gives them and they're not overcomplicating their shots, they're better at shooting. It's when they're trying to rush shots. It's when they're trying to go ahead and chuck up these long threes. And I'm a firm believer in the saying, you live by the 3, you die by the 3. And unfortunately for the Knicks, there's a lot more shooters on the Grizzlies. Although, last game was last game, this is a better shooting team than what the Knicks are right now. The Knicks don't have a true point guard, so that goes ahead and affects the offense and how it moves. And a lot of the times, the ball's in Julius Randle's hands instead of maybe RJ Barrett, so the offense is a little stagnant. The Knicks can't overcomplicate the game, because if they do, the Grizzlies 100% are going to take advantage of that.
All right. And now, Ashley, coming into MSG, I feel like this is a topic that you're going to have something to say about. The Grizzlies got kicked off of ESPN last week for a Knicks game.
Yeah.
You were at, that was not pretty.
Yeah, it was not a good one.
They come in with a little extra, like, let's make it a show tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a show regardless. I think this is a really cool game for a multitude of reasons. Obviously, it's the Garden. It's Wednesday night on ESPN, so it's going to be all eyes on these two teams. Obviously, Ja Morant's having one hell of a season. The Grizzlies in general are having one hell of a season. And I told everybody about the Grizzlies from day one. Nobody wanted to believe me. Everyone was on the Lakers train and da-da-da-da. But now, my predictions are coming into the forefront as being correct. So I want my flowers from everyone who doubted me. But I think it's going to be cool. I think you're going to see a lot if Coach Tibbs does what we want him to do. And when I say we, I mean Knicks fans, it's giving the kids an opportunity to play, the younger guys, Grimes, Barrett, quickly, because I feel like those are the guys that are really going to be able to make this a game against such a young team like the Grizzlies that have been playing so well together. You got to kind of even the playing field, and you can't do that with Julius Randle playing 30 plus minutes. You got to go ahead and switch it up a little bit.
Okay, here's my last question to you. Because this is the first time that Grizzlies are playing the Knicks, it means that Grizz Nation has not seen anyone on the Knicks this season. Give me your 2 players that if we're watching this for the first time, you're like, this guy's got to have a good night. This guy's got to have a good night. If not, the Knicks have no chance.
Okay. RJ Barrett definitely needs to have a good night. Especially, yeah, shout out to Canada. I call him the 9 god because he's from Toronto, Drake, the whole thing, the number 9. It's like a whole nickname I gave him. He hasn't acknowledged the nickname yet, but I'm hoping he does. Yeah, RJ Barrett, I think he's a pivotal point to the offense. Obviously, this is going to be a player who's part of this franchise for a very long time. He's going to be somebody who's going to be a leader on and off the court for the Knicks. He has to have a good game. I'm actually going to split. I think Julius Randle obviously always has to have a good game. When he doesn't, it's like a domino effect. He doesn't have to be the highest scorer. He doesn't even have to be the most efficient on the court, but he does have to be productive, and he does have to be dependable in aspects and in moments of the game. And I'm going to also go ahead and say Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is the center. Yeah, he's a lot of the reason we call him the blockness monster in New York, because, it's block city over there. A lot of those offensive rebounds or defensive rebounds come from him. And having those second, third chance opportunities for the Knicks are going to be pivotal against a team that has Ja Morant and a lot of other talent when it comes to scoring. You got to go ahead and take what the game gives you. And also you got to go ahead and maybe get a couple more opportunities to get that shot up if you miss it. So Mitchell Robinson's going to be huge.
Yeah, second chance opportunities. The Grizzlies lead the league in that. Both teams in the top 5 in the league in second chance opportunities. Yeah. Obviously, with Steven Adams questionable right now, he's the leading offensive rebounder for the Grizzlies. So I'm going to choose a player that I think is going to be the most important. I think that's Jaren Jackson Jr. Not only for if Steven Adams is out, as we're filming this right now, he's questionable, so we're not sure. Picking up on the rebounding end. And then also we talk about blocks with Robinson. Jaren Jackson Jr. has a little block party himself.
He just can't take our nickname. That's trademark. We can't share the nickname. But
have you heard his new nickname? I don't think he's too high on it, but he's acknowledged it.
What is it?
The Block Panther.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Who gave him that?
Grizz Nation, and they put a 1 and a 3 in it, like for the E and the L. Yeah, I
kind of like it because it's also like the whole welcome to the dark thing that Ja's always about, and it's keeping it in the realm of dark and blackness, and I'm here for it. I actually think that's better than the blockness monster, honestly. The Block Panther. Yeah, I feel like that's a little bit of a better. I think we failed Mitchell Robinson a little bit with that blockness monster thing, but it's too late at this point. Yeah, so
we're here.
Yeah, we're here, exactly. Yeah.
Ashley, thank you so much for being here. Grizz Nation, the game tips off at 6:30 p.m. on Bally Sports Southeast. See you there. First time at MSG this year.